All right, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day, had a great weekend so far. So, today we're going to be working on the OC Art Raffle winner, DJ Delta Art. Had this cool Snick character that he submitted, or they submitted. I don't have any information on them or anything, and I forgot to message him to ask him, so I just am kind of going with my own headcanon on this. So let me go ahead and get over here. You can see what I got so far. So normally I would do the lines and the flats for the character ahead of time, but last night I had a really bad headache. I ended up redoing the background twice. And then I just did a sketch of the actual snake character. So it's actually kind of nice. I haven't drawn like a creature style thing in like a long time, so it's gonna be fun. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna turn off the background here, so I can concentrate on actually doing the line work, actual designing of the character or creature, I should say. Let's go ahead and get that to the side here. And there we go. Made my brush smaller. Just because I've been having like the thinner lines lately, and then just using doing some line thickness a little bit after the fact. Yay, my beautiful wife's in here, and Nympha. Hell yeah. It's a party now. Let's see. Yeah, I cannot remember the last time I've drawn a snake, so. I know back in the day I used to draw like serpent style like dragons a lot, so might end up being a little dragony, but that's okay. It'll look cool. And luckily for snakes, for the scales on the body, which would be the most time consuming thing, I have found some brushes. So I'll do most of the detail on the head of the snake, like actually hand draw it, and then on the body I'll just use the brushes that I found. Because, might as well work smarter, not harder. And I'm also trying to keep the design similar to how they have it as well. So it's a very ornate snake. Which is kind of cool. I was gonna try to do something creative with like the inside of the hood. I think that's gonna give us a lot of opportunity, a lot of real estate to do something creative in that area. And this gives me practice on like drawing like more like organic kind of things. And doing line work in like a somewhat perspective kind of thing. It's not going to be one for one to the design. I got to make it work for how I have it designed here. But we're going to try to get pretty close. we're gonna have like at least the general like elements be the same. Especially since it has like scales, we're just gonna use larger sections of scale to kind of like build up pieces. Hey, Pensy. Glad you can make it. Hope you're feeling better. Nice. So glad that you're doing better. I'm glad that my headache from last night went away. I was a little worried that I was going to be like out for the count. But I got lucky. I also took some ibuprofen before I went to bed last night, so that helped. Yeah, it was probably the storm. The storm was pretty intense. All right. So let's see. They got these like couple sets of horns here, which is kind of cool for a snake. But I'm gonna kind of design them a little bit differently. Uh, I've seen like horned like rattlesnake pictures and whatnot. So they have these like kind of cool little horns here, but they're like little segmented horns. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, exactly. Like a chainsaw. Texas chainsaw snack. I'm kind of do some transitional scales here because it all needs to link together. So that's how snack works. The Snack Devil. All cool characters. So yeah. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I'll try my best to yap here and there, but I'm going to be like concentrating, so don't mind me. Especially since this is something I don't normally draw, but it's nice to get some creature drawing practice, so. Make sure that these have some different planes to them so they're not just looking flat. Yeah, exactly. Everything is practice for sexy later. That's the best grind mindset. What is it in Setsukai? The little reporter is always like, "This will sell."
In trouble?
Probably. He's probably eating their food.
Want to look outside? Not for long. I know.
Vegeta's being such a jerk lately.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
I gotta make sure I'm able to like repeat these elements on the other side. Let's make this nice and big.
Are you a baby too?
Yeah, I know downstairs he was trying to eat their food and
He's
getting
probably
pissy about it.
Yeah. Well, he's not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's not for you. You get gassy. And then you're gross.
Yeah, then you're extra gross.
Which one, baby? You want a treat? You want a treat? Now you gotta chill out. Really get it. Like, I'm not doing that lately, and it's making me mad. Come here. You want a calm down, please? Okay.
One of the easiest things about design is to make sure that you just like repeat certain elements of it. That way it's all cohesive across the entire image. The snake doesn't appear to be friendly, so a lot of like angular shapes, a lot of like sharp edges and whatnot. The curves are mostly just to show that like the body itself is, you know, curved. I should probably give these some elements of 3D to them here too. So we're gonna do like little bridges where like the scaling kind of like wraps around. At least on these big ones up here because they're angled a little bit. Can probably do it on the small ones too, actually, down here. Just got to remember to not do too much because I don't want to like rack my brain about it constantly. And out here, make sure it's all in quote unquote perspective. You can at least imply perspective. It doesn't have to be 100% right. Let's see. And then we have some that come out from the side of the face here. It's kind of, oop, brush is starting to get janky. And you know, things like this where there's like a lot of detail over the whole thing, so you don't get like burnt out in any one particular spot. You can jump around. I know snakes have like multiple scent holes here, so we're gonna go with that. Hey man, nice scent hole. I'm also doing this like completely without a snake reference. Like, I probably should have gotten a snake reference, but I felt like if I did that, I would get too caught up on making the details like exact, and I don't have time for that. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use our knowledge we already have and just use shapes. Yeah, the sniffers. They use the sniffer holes in their tongue. Actually, is connected heavily to their scent glands. So they use both of those to like sense where prey is. Which is funny, like seeing like movies where there's like a giant snake tracking somebody and people are like trying to hide. It's like, bitch, you stink. You've been running around like sweating and stuff. You're not gonna be able to hide. That snake's gonna find your stinky ass immediately. I mean, granted, standing out in the open's not good either. So, would not recommend that. Slither, you little snack. I do like that, like in their actual artwork, the snake scales kind of remind me of like stained glass. So maybe I can do something cool with like the inside of the hood, make it look kind of look like maybe like stained glass or something. Nice. I love those emotes. I'm glad that the head is the only area that I'm going to be manually doing scales. Because otherwise, this would take ages. I gotta remember that they've also got these like other scale or little kind of like stretchy points on it. But we can also show that just with coloring, so it doesn't necessarily have to reflect in the line work. Do not be afraid. The divine snack. I'm assuming it's some sort of god. I don't actually know the lore of the snack. But it's pretty fucking big, it looks like, so I would imagine that it's a divine. Like some sort of, or like some sort of like nature made, like some sort of like crazy creature. Big boss. He's the biggest of bosses. I think a lot of people too, when they draw like snakes and creatures that have scales, have a tendency to over detail. Like, not every scale has to be like super tiny, that kind of thing. You just kind of have to think that they are of course all segmented together, but not necessarily like all these tiny scales. Might have to do some small scales here to kind of like connect these, but like right here. I don't know. Just kind of like thinking about like if it were segmented in a certain way so it can still move. I actually might break this up a little bit too. All the way down the middle here. I kind of want to make sure that they look like they're individual sections here, so we're going to put a little bit of thicker lining around the outside of them to give them some form, some shape. Oh yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty cool. And we want to make sure that we're flipping here so things don't get all janky and lopsided, because that can happen if you don't flip your canvas. And we're just doing the little side ones now. And let's try to give them some form. I am glad that in my visual library in my mind, I've seen the horned rattlesnakes. Also, bless you. I wish we could just evolve to not have like allergies anymore. That'd be great. Horned vipers. I think that's what I meant. I knew it was some sort of snake that had horns, and I just has like the cool spiky things that come off of them. So I just couldn't remember if it was a rattlesnake or a viper. There's also like other lizards too that have like the horns to them. So kind of keeping that in mind as well. Let's see. So now we're getting into some of the bigger ones here. I have a feeling this is going to end up looking like Legree Chris from Monster Hunter a little bit. That's okay. It'll be practice for when I do some Monster Hunter fan art again. Legree Chris is a cool looking monster, but not my favorite. Monsters as waifus. Oh yeah, I've seen people do that too. I'm like, that's awesome. I think my favorite monster in Monster Hunter is Zinogre. Just such a cool design. Like it's just really unique. I want a lightning puppy IRL. Oh yeah, the Nargacuga. That one is also cool. What's been really nice about doing these OC art raffle things is I've been getting really good with like my line confidence. Means I have to hit undo less, which is nice. Less erasing as well. To be fair, too, like when you're drawing like your line work and stuff, if you intend to color it, a lot of your rendering is also going to take away the attention from any little minor things that might be bothering you. So don't always be like super hung up on like your line work. Oh, he's over in his house doing it. Okay. He's so mad.
Yeah. He's gonna take a nap in a second. I gave him a super treat.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to drug you, but you give me a shot.
Yeah.
I gotta get some work done. We'll play later when you wake up. We'll take a nap.
Yeah, after stream I was gonna do those dishes and then I was planning on playing with him a little bit. Since I haven't played with him in a couple days.
I mean, he's been playing with the kids.
Well, that's what I figured is like he wouldn't be bored because he had the other cats to play with, but
Yes.
he's been looking at me and like bringing the feather over to me and stuff, so
Oh, that wasn't
he must miss playing with me.
oh, blue bag. Lay down. Lay down. Go away.
Hell yeah. Let's make the sketch a little lighter. Ooh, that's so much better. Now we can definitely see what's going on. I should have done that sooner.
He's right behind you.
Okay. All hail the snack. He's so pissed. Let's see. Wonder if I should have any transitional scales in between there. Gotta kind of think about things, like pointed out. Yeah, the Sex Panther cougar noise. Was it 75% of the time it works every time? Alright, let's flip it back this way. That might help. Let's get our snoot holes here. Not gonna be able to see quite as much of the snoot hole, but trying to go up on my sketch. Trying to make sure I keep the curves all pretty consistent looking. stuff like this where there's like patterns or scales, like keep it looking the same on both sides can sometimes be challenging. Especially like when you're trying to like squish it a little bit because of their perspective. So the head is tilted a bit here, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. Keeping the holes like the relatively the same size, not exactly the same size, but pretty close. I used to draw without really thinking about like the structure of what I was drawing. And then once I started thinking about it more, that like massively improved my artwork. Putting actual like conscious thought into like each thing I was doing. So that's a good kind of tip in mind to, you know, try to make things make sense. Don't draw them just because they look cool. Like there needs to be like a clear visual fidelity to it. Like it needs to make sense going either way. Fancy words for making it look the same on both sides. Fancy. Let's see. So we've got the big one, and then there's this one. So actually, this shouldn't be a line here. Like counting the number of scales on each side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So one probably need to do. Let's make this a bit smaller since it's tilted this way. Yeah, picky up. So that's 1, 2. Do another one here. There we go. He's so upset. One, two, three, four. And then I have 1, 2 right there. So we're gonna mirror that. It's funny, I always like every now and then I kind of like imagine how younger me would react to like my current art skills. Like, whoa. Like, how did you do that? We got better, little dude. That's how. So, 1, 2 going that way, so kind of like that. And then this one that connects to almost the underside here. So kind of like that. Try to at least get it as close to symmetrical as possible here. One way I could have technically cheated is I could have used the symmetry tool and then used the liquefy tool to like warp it. But the problem is when you use the liquefy tool, sometimes it causes the lines to get fuzzy, and I don't want that. So 1, 2 big ones. I want the lines to stay pretty crisp. Crispy. Crispy, smexy lines. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, 1, 2. So another one. Bless you. Goes kind of like this. Meets up there. Oh, let me get some water. Set up straight here. I'll also save. Pansy caught you slacking there, Nymph, taking over the the water and the posture check. Nice. Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad you're working on something too. I always love seeing your artwork, so. Let's get this eye area here on the other side. Kind of going. Just so I can kind of keep track of everything. Should probably move that a little bit this way. I think this needs to come up more like that. And then we'll get this like socket area here filled in. Make sure the eyes are like relatively similar sizes. Although it's turned a bit here. What's kind of cool about this, since we're doing scales and whatnot, it should be fairly easy to color this pretty quickly too. Because what I'll do is I'll put the line work as a reference layer, and you can use that to use the fill tool pretty efficiently, which is nice. See, 1, 2, 3. So we need to expand that just a little bit. Up one more. There we go. Yeah, that would be cute. One of these days I need to get back to that. I have a few things that I accidentally like shelved. Lately, if I don't like take the time to like actually finish them right then and there, I have a tendency to forget about them. So flip it, make sure it's looking good. It still is. True. You're right. Let's kind of get like the thing for the kind of gummy area for the fangs here. Actually, I don't really know how to draw snake fangs. I know they're curved. They like kind of hook. So trying to bring it in. Trying to make sure, give them the right thickness. Might even have it curve in a little bit more. Oh my god. That and have that. I mean, this is definitely like a super stylized neck, but maybe if we give it like some extra little hooks in here, it might be kind of cool. Like if we do kind of do like this. Hold on. Maybe if I make them smaller so it's more like serrated. Like if this thing bites you, there's no way in hell like you're getting out of it, especially with the size. So we'll take some liberties here. This might not look exactly right for the perspective either, but that's okay. Danger noodle. They really are danger noodles. They're usually just chilling for the most part. They're like, oh fuck, they saw me. Oh my god, I'm gonna go into this hole. Ooh, we could put some like venom gland holes in it. And then when we color, we can have like little we can have little globs of like venom like flying off. My original idea for the backgrounds, the ones that I scrapped, were that it was like in a temple, and then the temple was like crumbling behind it as it was like barreling towards like the viewer. But that ended up being like way more involved than I wanted, so I was like, I gotta be able to get this done pretty quickly because I have other projects, especially like commissions to work on. So, well, I have a commission to work on. I don't want to leave them hanging. Let's see. So I kind of, maybe they would both be kind of curved like this way a little bit. I don't know. Trying to. I know that their jaw is like all crazy and can move in like all sorts of different directions and whatnot. So. Trying to think about it in like the perspective here that we have him in. Let's get his gums at least that are like holding the fang. Oh my goodness. Can't draw a line. Yeah. Snakes are wild. Here, well, I think having them both maybe turn in might be fine. Let's get like the overall shape, and then I'll get the curve and the little other little hooks that I put on the other side. This side of the face is a little more forward anyway, so it's okay to be a bit larger. I think that looks fine. Alright. So let's get back up here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. We're gonna do one kind of going this way. It's kind of like a connector here. And then we got this. We've got a ridge of them going this way too. So let's go ahead and get the lines for that just so we know where it is. And then there's like this connector one here. What we're gonna do, erase this line away. Try to keep the shapes fairly close to what they were on each side. They're going to be a little warped because of the turn, but try to make it look right best I can. Because there's like squished parts here. And the design, they've got these like these cool scales here that kind of like converge. So let's try to do those. So we're gonna get those in here. It's gonna be squished here because of the fact that it's pissed. Maybe I should bring this more this way. That's better. It's a little too big here for it. Let's go like that. And then for perspective, we'll cut it this way. This is actually like a really, really good exercise drawing like segmented and like linked things and thinking about how they would like squish and how they would look at different angles and whatnot. This is actually excellent practice for that. Alright, I kind of want them to converge kind of in the middle here. So what I need to do is I am going to have to use this a little bit and move this over here. It's more towards the center of the face. There we go. Yeah, don't be afraid to use the tools you have to fix like areas that need it. So like that, and then we'll have it connect this way. So they converge together, so now we've connected both the sides. And let's see. Let's break some of this up a little bit. How we go this way. And like that. Probably could have even used like another like row in here so it can wrinkle, but I don't know if I want to do all that. I think what we'll do is we'll adjust this. Bring that like that. Then we'll bring it this way. Let's see, so we gave ourselves a row here. So this is 1, 2, 3. And it's connected to the top of this. So maybe it'd be a little bit bigger on this side because it's like snarled up in that direction. Let me zoom back out just to make sure that it's looking okay. So we can do that, and I'll have this kind of turn this way. And then that, so have it go like this. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Trying to make sure that the line thickness and whatnot is like the same consistency here. Try not to use quite as much pressure. Alright, we're just going to have one little tiny connector area there. There we go. Hell yeah. So let's see, we got big ones. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one kind of actually goes up and out like that, because we're going to start getting into the spike thing over here. So we want that. Got a little thickness here, there. And let's see, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I need this little eye section to also be sectioned into 5. Section it right here. 1. Gotta start drawing through again. There we go. That'll help with the lines. So it's 1, 2. One, 2, 3, and there we go. Let's bring this. I'm gonna bring this one back over some. Bring it like this way. No, eraser. Oh my goodness. Brush pressure is getting crazy. I want to be thinner towards the center of the line. The idea is to make them look kind of like 3D, even with like the lines, like they're like an actual shape. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Save. Alright, so directly underneath that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we're starting to get into these things over here on this side. So start doing that. I'm actually gonna flip my canvas. This one doesn't have enough of a curve. There we go. Actually, it's got to come more like that. This has got more of a curve to it. There's kind of like a ridge here. Yeah, I'll fix that in a sec. You know what, this needs to go up more this way, I think. Well, actually, maybe more. I think more down actually makes more sense because its head is tilted this way. Yeah, this needs to come down more. Alright, so there's 1, 2, and then let's bring this in. That. Flip. This needs to come out this way more. Yeah, this is the hardest part, is making it consistent on both sides. I think I need to bring these in a little bit. trying not to use my liquify tool too much here because I don't want to make the lines blurry. See, that's gotten all blurry now. No. So let's do that's a little bit better. Kind of reinforce these lines again. Yeah, it looks like it still needs to come down more. Jeez. Alright. How about to that, turn it, bring it that way. I think that makes it look a little bit more symmetrical. It's looking a little bit better. It doesn't have to be exact. I just want to make sure that I'm not just like completely neglecting, like, thinking about, getting. I don't want to just like commit to being lazy and not fixing something when I see it, because then I'll see it later when it's like mostly done, and I'll be like, God damn it, I should have fixed that while I had the chance. And I'll be like, I hate this part. Why did I do this? Why didn't I just take the 2 seconds to fix it? Well, it's not really 2 seconds, but still. I knew it was there, and I let it be a problem. I don't want to do that. Like how managers work at 9 to 5s, where they know there's a problem, and then they're just like, well, that's going to be a problem forever. Alright, I think that's good enough for that one. So the next one is the really big one, so I gotta have space for that. So gotta have like the kind of like cheek area here, and then that kind of goes like that. Well, actually, it would be more here, because I need to have space for like this big chunk here to have this thing that comes up. And then it connects up here. So let's do that and like that. So my brain's like, oh my god, like trying to keep this in mind. So it kind of connects where this one connects. So let's do that. Again, I'm so glad that I have like a scale brush for the body. I can literally just run that along the body and not have to worry about thinking about this as much. Man. I don't know if I'm like getting fatigue here or what, but I'm glad I didn't try to do this last night when I had a headache. It would have sucked. Hey, Windseeker, how's it going, man? Drawing snack. Alright, so after this one here is this. There's 1, 3, 4, 5 before it. So it goes like that, kind of like that, and then back this way. Yes, Havoc writing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. It was down here. That, and clean this up a little bit in here. Let's see, so right under this I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I gotta make more sections here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, this is hard. So it is. Oh, I don't know if you're talking to Havoc or not, but this is one of the latest OC art winner. They submitted this snake thing. Wait, do I really already have enough? Hold on. Start with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this needs to be split. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe I need to move this over. And then do one more. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Now we have now we have it like consistent. Not that I feel like I'm gonna have anybody like look at this and be like, "Oh, the scales are not consistent on each side." I'll know, and it will bother me. There we go. We finally got it. Hell yeah. Go ahead and save now that I fixed that. Hey, I fixed it though. No longer an issue. I fixed it. nobody can nobody can say that Aniki is lazy. Alright, I need to start flipping my canvas here so I can make sure I got this right. I'm so lazy, just all the time, taking all these shortcuts, teaching everybody else shortcuts so they can also be lazy. How dare I? Who do I think I am? And I call myself an artist. You lied to me. I'm a bad example. I've inspired nothing but laziness. I should be ashamed. Alrighty, let's see. Enough of that bit. Let me get back to what I was doing. I do think this is going to look pretty cool when it's done. And I can say I drew like a snake god thing. Even though it wasn't like my idea, I can be like, yo, I know how to draw snakes. Yeah, this is the start of your villain arc. Aniki lied to me once. One single time, and that was the final straw. Now for a life of crime and evil. There are for real some supervillains that have some really like bullshit motivation sometimes. Like they were minorly inconvenienced once by the hero, and then they're just like, I'm gonna kill someone they love. Sometimes the hero is legitimately like a dumbass and has like made the villain's life like really shitty, but yeah, exactly. It's like for real, dude. Lex just hates him because he's like an illegal alien, and he's a billionaire, and you know how billionaires all feel about illegal aliens, right? Other than hiring them to do cheap labor. I'm about to have my villain arc with these fucking billionaires. You guys think I'm nice now. Just wait. Actually, let's bring this out more, and then like that. Let me take a look at it. I think that's okay. Might need to push it up a little bit. You got the best of me again. Never let you in. Yeah. How come he's special? Mew mew mew. I mean, I'm not like a huge like Superman fan. Like, I think he's a little too overpowered. But I did see that the James Gunn version, he's more vulnerable, which is nice. Because like in the comics, he's like pretty much a fucking god, and it's like, dude, like make this guy actually struggle a little bit here. Yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of like really positive reviews for it. So the funniest Superman movie is the one where he knocks up Lois Lane and then goes to space to avoid raising his child. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It was just, it was so ridiculous that it was so funny to me. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go find my people, even though they're supposedly all dead." And Lois is like, "What about your kid?" And he's like, "What kid? Away!" Like, I mean, I get why the creators made him and also made him like the way he is. Like their intentions were like in the right place. It's just that the people that took the comics like after his like original like you know original creation kind of just like made him like super like MC problem character where he can just solve every issue with like barely an inconvenience, that kind of thing. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah. I don't think Goku's like really raised any of his kids, either of them. I do love the fact that Chi Chi was training Goten though. Chi Chi and Gohan. Though they really need to like actually showcase that like Goten isn't just like a goofball. Like he's kind of worthless. Like to the story, really. I don't actually know why he exists other than just to fuse with Trunks, and that's like pretty much it. That's his whole purpose in the story. I do like in the manga that they're like superheroes or whatever. Oh wait, this needs to not come up that high. I'm looking at it on the other side. Yeah, really. Like Chi Chi, wasn't she like no joke? Like when like Goku found her, like even though she was only like 12, she had a little like helmet with like an axe like mohawk, which was fucking awesome, in bikini armor. Why you would put bikini armor on a 12-year-old, I don't know, but she still had armor. That was kind of cool, at least. One of my friends that I know that also Windseeker knows as well is like if the Ox King was a person, like an actual person. He's also like super, like one of the nicest people I know, like IRL. But my headcanon is he's secretly the Ox King in his free time. A laser helmet. See, stuff like that's cool, you know? She should make like an. She should get a Bulma to make her like an updated version of that. Like they never show what like Chi Chi's even doing like this whole time, like when all this crap is going on. Like half the time she's not even at like the barbecues they're always having. She's just kind of like MIA. Like, whoops, we forgot about Chi Chi. Not as bad as Launch, but they still forget about her. It's like, oh yeah, Goku does have a wife. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work though. I don't think Goten's that smart. He he doesn't seem like it. Like the only one that actually like legitimately like went to school was like Gohan. After like he decided to be like a nerd for a little while. All right, I think this needs to be moved a little bit. Oh yeah, it's gonna come over like this. Oh yeah, launch was awesome. I mean, I haven't watched like old school Dragon Ball like all the way through or anything, but from what I've seen of the character, she's really cool. One, two, so something like that. Maybe I should get these like big areas planned out here. Man, that's the hardest part is the consistency with this. Hmm. All right, so like that, and then this kind of goes. Shit. So there's two of these things, so bring this back this way, like that, but down a little bit, and then there's another ridge here. Goes like that, that. And that kind of goes like that, kind of. Shit. I'm starting to lose track of what I drew. I think I burned through my breakfast. I also only have myself to blame for making this complicated. But it's also because I want everybody's OC that I do be really cool. So can't leave my viewers hanging there. How many times she switches? Yeah. Come on, go back on the damn color. Okay, so then there's this that kind of curves inward on like that. Actually, more that direction. It's close enough. Yeah. Blonde's the scary one. The guns. Okay, so we got that section. So there's 1, 2, 3 of these. So where did I start? Starts right here. Oh my god, beyond the thing. So like that, and then from there, we're getting there. Oh my god, I have so much more of this to draw. This is going to be a multi-stream project. There's no way that I'm going to be able to get it all done in one go here, unless I streamed like all day, and I don't have the fortitude for that. Though I do feel like this is still pretty good progress for like, 2 hours. So for something so complex, I can at least pat myself on the back for that. Plus, it's my favorite Sleep Token song right now. So. Cool way to die. It is too bad though that it's by her guns and not by like her thighs or something though. That would be a cooler way to die. That would be my preferred way to go if I had to go. That's one thing I do have to say about Dragon Ball characters is they always have thighs. Blades of my dead gods. Rods. On the dark of fire and the wind of the dead. within through your skin. Remain past your half-life. And let's bring it out more this way. Don't be a coward. I believe in you. Maybe what I'll do is after I take a quick break after stream to like eat and do the dishes and play with the kitty, maybe I'll work on this some more just in my own time here, just so I can maybe have like a be able to finish it sooner. This has still got to come down. Oh, I'm sure it's probably coming my way eventually too. If it's starting in your area, so it's been like non-stop storms pretty much. The weather has just gotten so violent. Oh yeah, definitely makes me sleepy when it's stormy out. I think what I'll do is I'll finish this other horn and then I think we're gonna call it for the day as I am really hungry. I don't want the quality to drop either. That's some good advice too. If you ever feel like, your whatever you're working on is starting to get like a little bit sloppy, it's always good to step away from it for a little bit and come back. Get like a hard reset. Let's see, so we got 1, 2, 3. So this actually needs to come more like that, because we're going to have more than one section to it. So I'm like Count Chocula over here on this image. 1, 2, 3 scales. Well, not Count Chocula. The one from freaking Sesame Street that teaches you how to count? Question mark. Let's do that, and so we got this one to this one. So this and then the blade. Okay. Not the blade, but the little actual sharp piece. Let's flip it this way. You know what? Let's bring this more like that, and let's make it a little bigger because I think it's bigger on the other side too. Yeah.
Meow. Come here. Leave him alone. Come here.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm almost done. Alright. Let's turn off the sketch real quick to see what we have so far. I can also kind of like move things around because I can see. It's looking a little squished over here, so let's bring it out up this way like that. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool so far. Think I'm doing good. Is snack. Super spiky snack. Alright, let's put this on the screen here. Turn on this for a sec here. Turn this off and bring that up. This is what we got so far. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Hit save again. Alright, I'm going to throw you guys over in the lobby here so we can go ahead and wrap this up for today. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today on a Monday to get your week started with some artwork. I always feel like art is a good way to start your week. Might be a little biased. If you're not already following me, go ahead and give me a follow to see when I go live. If you like the kind of content I do, please consider subscribing. That would help me out tremendously. I will be back tomorrow at the same time, probably working on this some more. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I appreciate you